friends, to celebrate the end of my cancer treatment, I got to spend some much needed time relaxing and resetting my energy with my family at one of my favorite places on the planet, Two Bunch Palms, right outside of Palm Springs, California. In this video, I'll take you along as we experience 3 days in this magical oasis. Welcome to the Dress Up Mom. If you're already a subscriber, thank you and I love you. If you haven't subscribed, please do and tap the bell for notifications. About 18 months ago, my husband Doug and I got to spend 2 days at Two Bunch Palms, a contemporary wellness hotel, spa, and hot springs located in Desert Hot Springs, California. It was a transformative experience for me, and I vowed at that time to go back annually and get myself a tune-up there. I did a video on that stay where I go into much more detail about the property and my experience, and I will link that here. I'm not going to go into all of that again this time. I will also put that link in the description below. I thought that our adult son and daughter would really like going here too, so we made plans to go as a family in February. About a month before our scheduled trip, I learned that I needed to go in and have treatment for my follicular lymphoma. This treatment entailed chemotherapy and immunotherapy for about 6 months. I also needed to start that cancer treatment right away, so sadly, we needed to cancel this trip. We decided, however, to postpone it and do it again when I was finished with my treatment and feeling better. I visualized soaking in these therapeutic, mood-enhancing waters many times during my very long treatment. Finally, the time came to gather up the family and head out to Two Bunch Palms, which is said to be located on an energy vortex. Our son Dane needed to fly in from New York, and unfortunately, the trip started off on a kind of unpleasant note. He was harassed the entire flight, and no one did anything to make it stop. We were all quite upset when he made it back to the house, and I was actually very angry. It was also very disturbing on many levels. Once we processed it for a while, my husband Doug had the great idea to burn some sage and change our energy around all of this, and we did. It really helped sort of get rid of our thinking about this horrible incident. There was also a heat wave going on in Southern California during this time. Now, we live near the ocean and it's usually quite nice here, so we don't have air conditioning. There are about 10 days during the year, though, when you really need it, and these were those 10 days. It was beastly hot. I knew it would also be very hot in the desert, but at least there we would have air conditioning. We woke up the next morning and decided to jump into the ocean, do some boogie boarding and swimming, and it really cooled us off a lot. We then had tickets to see Velour, a drag spectacular at the La Jolla Playhouse. It was such a good performance, informative, entertaining, and emotional. Sasha Velour is amazing. We all thoroughly enjoyed it, and I highly recommend seeing this if you can. We then headed off to Desert Hot Springs, which is about 2 hours from our house. I always know we're getting close when we see all the windmills. I forget how massive they are and how many of them there are. Go renewable energy. Two Bunch Palms is tucked away in the middle of the desert. Unless you know it's there, you would totally drive by it. It's very unassuming. It is set within a lush and intimate oasis with ancient mineral waters. The mineral waters are famous for their therapeutic and mood-enhancing properties, low in sulfur and rich in lithium. Scientists have posited that soaking in hot springs has shown to provide the body valuable nutrients needed to rid toxins through increased sweating, increased blood circulation, relieve pressure, pain, and stress, improve your pH level, help repair tissue damage, stimulate your metabolism, and balance your body's natural systems. Everything my body had been through, I knew I needed all of this big time. The mineral waters at Two Bunch flow from a 600-year-old natural spring that recharges every 24 hours and returns to the ground thereafter. The water emerges from the earth at over 100 degrees. They cool the water depending on how hot it is outside. Since we were there during a heat wave, the water actually felt very refreshing. We stay in the springs section, so we are soaking in the oldest springs. That area is also close to everything. This time, Doug and I stayed in the Al Capone Jr. Suite, which was quite spacious. Hello, here's our room. Love it.
Pause.
Al Capone built the original stone fortress as his notorious hideout and exotic playground on a sacred Indian site. The kids had a room with 2 beds, which was also laid out really well and had a lot of room. The rooms aren't lavish, but they are very comfortable. This is a cute double room. Look at how it's cool, how it's laid out with the little platforms and everything.
Be great for orgy as well.
There are no TVs or screens in the rooms, which I really like. There is Wi-Fi throughout the property, so you can be as connected as you want to be. Because it's only a couple hours outside of Los Angeles, the rich and famous have been retreating to this secret getaway for decades. Before modern spas were fashionable, this was the place to chill out and do nothing except reap the benefits of these healing waters. We arrived right around dinner time and headed to the restaurant. First thoughts, Kiana?
Well, the first food that we had was really good, and the atmosphere is amazing, so high hopes.
Okay. Mr. Hayden?
I love how much my wife loves this place, and that's what makes me happy, that she's happy. So I'm happy
like it
when she said, I love it too, yes, but you really, really love it.
Okay, honey, first thoughts?
I initially feel the vortex. It feels very calming. Yeah, beautiful. We had a gorgeous sunset, so yes, I'm excited.
Yay!
We're back at Two Bunch Palms, and it's just as amazing as it was the last time. I can already feel a difference, and we haven't even been in any of the tubs. Our rooms are great. We had some rain on the way here, which was fun, and now we're getting ready for a wonderful meal, get into a tub, and just start relaxing.
Where's my beer?
It was really nice because when we were there, the place wasn't crowded at all. So you didn't need a reservation. And a lot of times we felt like we were just doing everything in a private way, just the 4 of us. It's kind of great. We enjoyed a gorgeous sunset with our meal. The restaurant at Two Bunch Palms focuses on vegetable-forward, SoCal-inspired foods. The menu changes seasonally and offers a variety of options from vegan and vegetarian dishes to hearty and comforting meat dishes. They also have a full bar. Now, we ate every meal here, and everything was delicious. I think we kind of sampled everything on the menu. It's not a huge menu, but it's all so delicious. We never left the property. Once we got here, we parked our car and got back in the car when it was time to leave. We spent the entire time ensconced at Two Bunch Palms. That night we had our first soak, which felt wonderful. It was still kind of warm outside, but you could sit and just look at all the stars in the desert, and it was so relaxing and a lovely experience. I went to bed and slept like a baby. Two Bunch Palms also offers a series of classes and activities, most of which are free to guests. Sometimes there's a small charge for a few of them. The next morning after breakfast, we headed to the Yoga Dome for a sound meditation class with Ashley.
Okay, here we are. What are we getting ready to do, Dougie?
A little sound meditation.
Sound meditation. Then we're getting our energy shifted somehow, right?
Yes, yes.
Yay!
You need your energy shifted.
We're
yes.
at the Yoga Dome. Here we are. Let me show you guys. It's kind of this big, cool room. It's enormous. It has a really cool skyline. So you're out here. It's quite sunny and warm today, but somehow all the shading just makes it okay. All these
Beautiful trees everywhere. Tennis courts down here. And then you can see here is the actual yoga dome, which is cool. When you walk this way, I think this is called the Palm Court, and I'm hoping to spend a little bit of time here later today. But it's like a whole thing of hammocks. I love a good hammock. But it's a bunch of different hammocks in between all these palms, kind of shaded nicely. The layout here is so amazing because it is, if you were out just in the middle of sun right now, it'd be so hot here, but there's so much good shading and it feels really nice. So hope to come out here with the book a little later. The acoustics in the dome are really good and the sound vibrations were both relaxing and energizing at the same time. Next, we did a guided energy reset class with Paul, which was very powerful. He guided us through an hour designed to release and heal a specific energy that we wanted to get rid of. He explained that we weren't born with this energy and we can reset it. I absolutely loved this and got a lot out of it. I'm definitely still reaping the benefits from it. After that, Tiana and I went to an angel messages class with Donna, which was super interesting. I remember I did this the last time we were there too. She did an angel card reading on each of us and suggested different angels we could call on. She also explained that our ancestors are also our angels and that all angels must appear when we call on them. This has been very comforting for me, and I have found myself calling on my angels a lot more since this class. After lunch, we all headed to the spa for some treatments. Now, the spa treatments here are a real treat and are designed to complement and enhance the healing properties of the natural mineral waters. Throughout our stay, I had a balancing massage with CBD oil, an adaptogen wrap that included a soak in my own private tub, and a facial. I spent like half the day in the massage rooms. I'm back from my facial. Oh my gosh, I'm very, very relaxed and very grateful. I cannot describe how wonderful these treatments were and how great I felt after them. My cancer treatment really did a job on my skin. I had eczema and rashes all over. The treatments allowed me to finally feel some relief. In addition to a lot of tub soaking, we got to do some Kundalini yoga with Ashley, which involved a lot of breath work and energy movement. Here, I was introduced to a type of meditation where we chanted Sa, Ta, Na, Ma, which is intended to reorient the mind and prepare for transformation. This was also very powerful for me, and I have now included it in my daily meditation. I've always loved a good hammock, and there are lots of them scattered throughout the property. I spend a good amount of time swaying in a hammock every day. My custom straw hat from El Rancho Carpintero was a staple throughout the trip and rarely left my head. Justin, who made the hat for me out of palm leaves, suggested that I always spray some water on it whenever I take an adventure. I was able to gather some of this mineral water and spray it on my hat. Then I took and I reshaped it a little bit. And I love this because now my hat has a little bit of this magic from 2 bunch palms in it. And it is now home with me. And I can think about that every time I wear the hat. It was fire season and a big fire broke out about 30 miles away. We met several guests who had to be evacuated and they came to 2 bunch palms to wait out the fire. There's a fire unfortunately happening not too far from here. It's so sad. The air isn't the greatest and quite windy. I wonder how long we're going to be able to come to places like this and not have it be too hot. Getting to come here and spend 3 super relaxing, transformative days with my family was so special. Every night we spent hours in the restaurant playing cards, talking, and just laughing. We met some of our fellow guests who are all very nice, and the staff here is so wonderful. They definitely add to the whole experience. We joked about how nice it was to be in this little bubble away from the entire world for a little bit. For me, it was honestly like getting a little glimpse of heaven. All right, Doug, our last soak. What have you thought about our time here?
It has been fantastic. Just a great, great trip. Unbelievable family time. The kids just share so much. We're heading off to yoga and then checking out, but fantastic time.
Once again, I'm making it a goal to come back here annually. So, Two Bunch, thanks again and see you in about a year. It was very hard leaving, and it did take me a little while to adjust to being outside of the bubble when we got home. This just renewed my vow to make sure that I go back to Two Bunch Poems every year and reset my energy for as often as I can do it. This trip was just what I needed. Special thanks to my family for taking the time to do this with me. Have you also been to Two Bunch Poems? If not, are you thinking of going? As you can see, I'm a huge fan. Please let me know all of this in the comments below. Thank you so much for watching. I truly appreciate it. Until next time, have fun and dress it up a little.